So today we have this A-Trend ATC-5200 motherboard on the bench. As you can see, it is a Super Socket 7 motherboard with a AMD K62500 CPU, and the board is actually in pretty good, almost like new condition, so there's a fairly good chance that this board will work. But the capacitors have failed. Actually, almost all of the electrolytic capacitors have failed. Maybe you can see that they have started to bulge pretty much all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the caps on the board have failed. So today we will be replacing these caps. It's not a big repair job, but it needs to be done for this motherboard to run properly. So let's get started. And I will use my desoldering gun to remove the caps. So now, with all the old capacitors removed, it is time to install some new ones. And I couldn't find any black capacitors in my stash, but I have these green ones, and as long as the voltage rating and the capacitance matches the original ones, it will be okay. So let's go ahead and install these. I had these two small caps left over, and apparently I removed them from the board up there by mistake. I didn't mean to take them off because they look to be in good condition, so we will just put them back. Okay. So all caps have now been reinstalled, and we can finish the job with a bit of alcohol to clean off the excess flux on the board. So the board has now been cleaned, and yeah, it basically looks brand new. So I think this will work. I always struggle a bit when I install these capacitors on larger boards like this motherboard, because the ground plane just sucks away the heat, so I find it quite hard to solder the capacitors back on the board, because the large ground plane sucks away the heat. I could use a preheater, but in my experience, I think that preheating an older board like this could cause some discoloring, and when the board is looking basically brand new like this one, I don't want to add any unnecessary damage to it. So let me find a VGA card and some memory, and we can test out this board. So I'll be right back. Now we have VGA, we have memory installed. Let's get the power connected. Let's just, this motherboard both got AT and ATX power connector, so I'll just go ahead and use the older style AT power connector. Let's connect it up like that. And let's do a quick measurement to see if we have any shorts. So let's see. Let's do ground. We have 0 ohms, that's good. And 5 volts. We have 57, 70, 82, 83, that's fine. And 5 volts, no, 12 volt. We have 93 ohms. That's fine. Good. Yeah, and before we power it on, let me just get this VGA hooked up so you also can see what's going on. Just a second. There we go. And let's put on a small heat sink right there. And let's power on. Whoops, forgot to turn on the power supply. Let's try again. Power on. Let's see if we get any signal. Yeah, we got signal. We got post. Let me just enlarge that so you can see. And yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and test any further than this. The owner of the card will test it when he get the card back, but everything is looking fine, so that's it. The card can go back to the owner and he can build a system with it. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.